Okay, so today's video lesson is of extreme importance. This is one of the most fundamental things we could talk about when talking about music and rhythm. It is the standard timetable. Some people refer to this as the rhythmic scale. I refer to this as the rhythm pyramid. Same thing, it all refers to the same chart and way of organization. Side note, I really feel like everybody should know what this is and kind of what this entails, because whether you play the guitar or a wind instrument or drums, you are using exactly this, whether you know it or not. It is impossible to pick up an instrument and not play any type of rhythm. Whether you're playing it in correct time, that's a totally different matter, but you are still playing some sort of rhythm with a duration tied up to it. So, basically the premise of the standard timetable is a way of organizing standard note values in ordered progression of subdivisions within a common meter or pulse. And basically all that means is going through the different types of notes with their different types of durations stacked up to a pulse, let's say set by a metronome or set by a band. They're just ways of stretching time in different fashions. So with that being said, I'm going to basically rhyme off all the different types of subdivisions that we will be using for this lesson, and I'll briefly talk about them in comparison to the metronome set at 4/4, so quarter note pulse at 60 BPM. Okay, so as a means of organization and a way to follow along to this video, the notes that we will be dealing with will be rhymed as such: whole notes, half notes, quarter note triplets, eighth note triplets, 16th notes. As an added bonus, we will be dealing with one odd grouping today, and those will be the quintuplets, accented and unaccented, just to kind of show you where they fall in relation to the pulse. The reason why I'm throwing this odd grouping in here is just to show the viewers that time can be stretched in more than just a linear fashion. Okay, and we'll explain that once I get to that part. After quintuplets, we're dealing with 16th note triplets, and finally 30-second notes. The format that I'm going to be using for this exercise on the pad is called a round table format. So basically what happens is I play everything from whole notes to 30-second notes. We'll be doing 4 measures each, counting out loud. It's extremely important. Once I get to the bottom, playing my 30-second notes, I'm going to reverse the progression and play everything from bottom to top, making my way back to the whole notes where we began. Like I had mentioned previously in this video, everything is going to be in relation to the metronome. It is detrimental that you use one of these, just to keep everything in time, in check, and just so you have a reference on where the one is. It's super important. Whole notes have 4 beats in them, and they go something like this: 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 3, 4, 4, 2, 3, 4. So if you noticed, for every hit, 4 quarter notes pass by in time. Let's move down the line to half notes. Like the name implies, a half note is half of a whole note. Therefore, it has 2 beats in it. It's going to go something like this: 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 3, 4, 4, 2, 3, 4. So, as you probably noticed, for every hit I do with a half note, 2 quarter notes pass. Going down the line, quarter notes, these ones are fairly easy because there's your guideline right on the metronome. all the pulses that you hear are in fact quarter notes. We're playing in a 4/4 time, so to fill up a measure, you need 4 quarter notes, 2 half notes, or 1 whole note. Quarter notes are going to sound like this: 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 2, 3, 4. 3, 2, 3, 4. 4, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so after quarter notes, we end up with quarter note triplets. To obtain a full measure of quarter note triplets, you need 6 of them. And basically to get there, we need to be thinking in triplets. So, if I set up my metronome, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, 2 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet. One triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, 1. Okay, so with time, it's going to sound something like this. One, 2, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, 2 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, 3 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet. 1. So just remember, 6 hits to fill that measure up. These ones may be a little tricky at first, but break it down nice and slow. Make sure you're counting out loud. You'll definitely get it. Moving on to 8th notes. This one is a little easier to comprehend because in reference to the quarter note, all you're doing is dividing by 2. So if you remember the quarter note, they took 4 to fill in the measures. Divided by 2, now you need 8 eighth notes to fill in that measure. With time, it's going to sound something like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 2 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 3 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 4, 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. Moving on to 8th note triplets. Like I said, one triplet contains 3 evenly spaced 8th notes. 3 times 4 in the case of a 4/4 bar will call for 12 hits. So to play a full measure in 4 of triplets, 8th note triplets, you will be clapping or hitting or tapping 12 times. With time, it's going to sound something like this. 1, 2, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, 2 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet. 4 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, 1. Moving down even further, we have the 16th note. So, the way I think about this is for every quarter note you hear on the metronome, or on the foot, or wherever it's being produced, you are going to clap out 4 16th notes. These are counted 1 E and A, 4 total. With time, it's going to sound something like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 E and a, 2 E and a, 3 E and a, 4 E and a, 2 E and a, 2 E and a, 3 E and a, 4 E and a, 3 E and a, 2 E and a, 3 E and a, 4 E and a, 4 E and a, 2 E and a, 3 E and a, 4 E and a, 1. Okay, so as promised, the bonus feature, Quintuplets. These ones are a little tough because what you're trying to do is basically fit in 5 hits per click. The reason why we call it an odd grouping is because we're dealing with 5s. They are an irrational number. It is an odd number. So, this one gives you a really weird pull. Sometimes it's extremely to follow along, even with the metronome. It took a little while to practice this one, so bear with yourself. It may take a little time, but just keep at it. So, we'll do accented first, just so you kind of see where everything lands. What's neat about this one, and something I forgot to mention with the triplets, because you're dealing in 3s, if you were to accent all the downbeats for triplets or quintuplets, you basically end up with a shift in hands. So, in comparison to that, if we were to go back to 16th notes, 1 E and a, 2 E and a, 3 E and a, 4 E and a, all my downbeats are on the right hand. Now, if we were to take triplets, 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, downbeat, downbeat, right, left, right, left, right, left, 1. Same thing applies for the quintuplets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1. With time, it's going to sound something like this. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2, 2, 3, 4, 5, 3, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 2, 3, 4, 5, 3, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2, 2, 3, 4, 5, 3, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1. You get the essence. So, accenting those downbeats really helps keep the time. Watch what happens when I take the accents out. So I'll play a measure with accents. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, moving on. 16th note triplets. Basically what is happening here, per quarter note click, we are playing 6 times. These are counted out 1 tita and tita, 1 tita and tita, 1 tita and tita, 2 tita and tita, 3 tita and tita, 4 tita and tita, 1 tita and tita, 2 tita and tita, 3 tita and tita, 4 tita and tita, 1. 1, 2, 3, 4 tita and tita, 1 tita and tita, 2 tita and tita, 3 tita and tita, 4 tita and tita, 2 tita and tita, 2 tita and tita, 3 tita and tita, 4 tita and tita. 4 tita and tita, 2 tita and tita, 3 tita and tita. Accented. 1 tita and tita, 2 tita and tita, 3 tita and tita, 4 tita and tita, 1 tita and tita, 2 tita and tita, 3 tita and tita, 4 tita and tita, 1. Last but not least, this is something that we had just mentioned in week 4 and 5 of the Berklee Drum Fundamental Program. And this is the first time where I actually learned how to properly count 32nd notes. Before I was just counting 16th notes and doubling up on those, because that's all it is taking your 16th note, 1 E and a, 2 E and a, 3 E and a, 4 E and a. And now, what's happening is, per quarter note click, you're going to try to fit in 8 hits as opposed to 4. So you're just doubling up. 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and those are 30-second notes. So the proper way to count this goes something like this. With time, just for juxtaposition and comparison, I'm going to play a couple bars of 16th notes first, and then I'll transition into the 30-second note, just to kind of give you a feel. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a 2E and a 2E and a 3. 30-second notes. 1E and Andy and a 2E and Andy and a 3 and Andy and a 4E and Andy and a 1E and Andy and a 2E and Andy and a 3 and Andy and a 4E and Andy and a 1E and Andy and a 2E and Andy and a 3 and Andy and a 4E and Andy and a 1E and Andy and a 2E and Andy and a 3, 4, 1. So, the best advice I could offer at this point is to basically rewind this video, play it as many times as you can until you get comfortable with each subdivision. Practice these individually, because each of these subdivisions has their own feel, their own way of counting, their own duration. It's what makes them unique. In combining all these, that's what really makes music interesting down the line. But let's take this one step at a time to really ensure that we know what we're talking about. So once you feel comfortable playing these individually with the metronome, either with sticks, keeping in mind the alternate sticking, we'll then go into the round table format. Also, for my drum students watching, keep in mind match grip, so your right imitates the left and the left imitates the right. Strike the middle of the pad. Keep in mind the height of the sticks. Make sure that they're both the same, somewhat parallel if you will. Keep in mind dynamics. If you can, tap with your left foot. Really make sure to count out loud on these. This is really where you're going to internalize what every subdivision feels and calls for. Okay, so 60 BPM, let's do this.